Okay, for this section of the independent study, we're going to work on getting your artwork laid out effectively in Adobe Illustrator to make it really efficient to take it into After Effects. So the first thing you're going to do is select New, and you're going to go down here to the presets, and on size, choose HDTV 1080. And that's going to give us a board that's 1920 by 1080 pixels, which is the size we're going to make our animation. Make sure it's RGB, and 72 is good for that. And then say OK. And what this is going to do, let me scale it down a little bit, is give us an artboard that's set up for video. If I choose the artboard over here, you can see there's a few little toggles up top. I can turn on and off the center X. I can turn on and off the crosshairs, and this is all just for helping you for layout. And I can turn on and off the video safe guides. Alright, the video safe guides, if you haven't worked with these before, this innermost guide here is considered a safe area for typography. And what that means is on about any size screen that you put this on, that won't get edited. It won't get chopped off the edges, it won't get cropped. So keep any fonts or any type that you need people to read, keep it in size here, so like your credits and things like that at the end. This middle line here is considered a safe area for graphics that most likely won't get cropped off, and then this is your outer artboard here. I often turn these off. We'll leave them on for now. I definitely turn the crosshairs off, and they just kind of bother me. So what we're going to do to set up your art on here is the way a lot of people work in Adobe Illustrator is you just kind of go in and just start doing your artwork. Just start laying things out. And what happens when you do this, let me add a couple more shapes here, is that works totally fine, but what we end up with is everything on the same layer. And oftentimes that's not a problem for us, but because you can see each one has its own, each piece is here individually in the layers panel. But when we export to After Effects, this layer is going to get flattened. So all of this is going to turn into one image, and when you take it into After Effects and try to animate it, you can only move it as a group, which is not what we're going to want at all. We want to be able to move and animate each of these objects independently. So what we can do is, if you've laid your whole piece out on one layer, that's okay. You can come over here to this drop-down menu and choose Release to Layers and choose Sequence. Don't use Build, it makes a heck of a mess. Choose Sequence, and then here's all of our different layers. You can then select, but it's still a subset of layer 1, so it's still a problem. So then what you have to do is select all of these layers and just pull them out up top of that. So now each one of these is on its own layer. So now I'll be able to take the star, the polygon, and the rectangle all independently into After Effects and animate them separately. If you think about this ahead of time, you can lay these all out on their independent layers. So like when you first start drawing, put a layer in and draw whatever shape you're after on that layer. And just keep track of your work from the beginning. It's actually easier because sometimes releasing them to a sequence can get a little sloppy. So trying to build from the beginning is the easiest way. But I guess the most important takeaway from this is that anything that's on a layer is going to be flattened when you take it into After Effects. So let me get rid of these. Let me get rid of them all at once. I cannot. Let me get rid of these, and I will show you a little more detailed example from an animation that I'm working on right now. Let's come here. Alright, so I go to layer 1, and I'm just going to paste. I selected some artwork earlier and dump it in. And I got a heck of a mess on my hands now. So all of this is in this one layer. So if I try to take this into After Effects, I get this whole shebang is going to be flat. I won't be able to animate any of it. So again, I can go to Layer, choose Release to Layer Sequence, and now all of my different layers are independent. Select them all, and I will pull them up out here. And I've just got that blank one we can just get rid of. But now everything that I have is on its own layer. And even within here, you'll see that fires a lot of different little paths. That's okay. When I take it into After Effects, that fire is going to be one flat object. Now say that I want to be able to make that fire so dance and move when I get it into, to look like a real fire when I get it into After Effects. I can always come down here and I can say Release the Sequence, and I can pull these independent layers out and have them take them separately into After Effects. Let's put that back the way it was. Oops, here we go. There it is. Yeah. So that's really that's what you have to do. Make sure that every piece that you want to animate is done as is on a separate layer, and that'll make it real easy for us to take it into After Effects and work on your animation. I hope you found this tutorial helpful.